In the 1823 August issue of Blackwood's magazine, a letter was published about a Scottish mummy. And the writer of the letter went on to say that he did not see the body himself, but it was related by other people. And here, a quote, it says, "The features were all so plain that an acquaintance might easily have known him. One of the lads gripped the face of the corpse with his finger and thumb, and the cheeks felt quite soft and freshly. But the dimples remained and did not spring out again. He had fine yellow hair about 9 inches long, but not a hair of it could they pull out till they cut part of it off with a knife. They also cut off some portions of his clothes, which were all quite fresh, and distributed them among their acquaintances, sending a portion to me, among the rest to keep as natural curiosities." And this was of a suicide that was a young man that was buried 100 years, or purported to be buried 100 years prior to that, so the early 1700s. And there was lots. Well, being a suicide, it was, as the letter states, it was the person was buried at the crossing of three, or actually at the corner of three properties, where the suicide would sometimes be buried in at a crossing of the roads. Now, is this true? Well, yeah. Is it? That letter was published by James Hogg, and he went on to write and publish in 1824 the private memoirs and confessions of a justified sinner. It's an odd book, disturbing in many ways. It's put together as that apparently in this grave, a notebook, a journal was found of the young man, detailing his life and his descent. Well, is it a descent? Well, that's the question. It's very ambiguous. But it talks about his religious fervor and having a friend that may or may not be seen by other people. Maybe there, maybe not. Well, yeah, we don't know. And there's an editor that has taken this manuscript and published it as that's the framing work of this novel. And the editor has gleaned and written a historical outline or biographical outline of this character, Robert, from memory and whatever records that are around, and then goes only so far, and then goes into the detail of Robert's memoir, his confessions, his what is the big question. It's very disturbing in many ways. His religious fervor, his fanaticism with religion, how it develops or dissents, or was he just insane? Was he seeing things? Did he commit all these murders? Or was there a demon that did it? Or not? Or is it a parable? Yeah. A disturbing book, but very interesting in many ways. It needs to be carefully read, especially the first part, and then the confessions section is very illuminating in many ways. Disturbingly illuminated. Yes, I've said disturbing several times. But that is James Hogg's The private memoirs and confessions of a justified sinner. He's not just a sinner. He's not just a sinner. He's a justified sinner. Thank you, Booktube.